Hi, welcome to today's community chat. Today we're going to be speaking with Kempsville High School in their Entrepreneurship and Business Academy. We have students and a teacher joining us today to talk about their upcoming pitch night. So thank you guys for joining, and then I'm going to turn it over to one of the teachers, Ashley Hutchins, and Jada, one of the students that pitched last year. So Ashley and Jada, thank you so much for coming on today, and I'm excited to talk with the other students as well. But Ashley, can you just start by telling us what the program is and how this got developed?
So I teach in the Entrepreneurship and Business Academy at Kempsville High School. And so within our academy program, there's 3 strands of study that a student can choose to kind of that's their pathway that they take with us. We have business information technology, corporate finance, and then entrepreneurship and innovation. So I teach in the entrepreneurship and innovation strand. And so I teach a class called Incubator, where it's all sophomores in the class, and they kind of embark on an entrepreneurial journey throughout the course. We form teams at the beginning of the year. The whole class is built upon the lean startup methodology and the business model canvas. So they're forming teams and they're brainstorming, what problems in their community do they see that they want to solve with a business. They brainstorm solutions, what products or services or apps or websites or, what sort of business could solve this problem that they're passionate about solving. And then we kind of go through all the elements of a business. So who is your customer? They do real customer discovery. They interview people out there who they think have the problem that they're trying to solve. They learn marketing strategies. They learn product prototyping and development. And then everything ends with our big pitch night at the end of the year, where they pitch to a panel of judges in hopes to win some seed funding to actually launch their business. And then throughout the course of the years, students are also working with mentors in our community. Every student team has a mentor that they work with all year long before they kind of get to the big pitch night stage at the end. So we're really close to our pitch night for 2023 happening next week.
And then on May 10th pitch night, the way that at least the flyer says is, you all do have a big host, and you have an all-star lineup of judges. I mean, can you tell me a little bit about, what types of people, are on that lineup?
Yes, so we have been so fortunate to partner with Bruce Thompson with Goode. He has hosted our pitch night every year since the beginning. So this will be our 5th pitch night that we've done, and he gives the $25,000 that we've given away every year that we've had a big pitch night, and then he gathers a panel of some really all-star judges, like the flyer says. Last year we hosted the governor on the panel as one of the judges, and we have another great lineup of judges this year. We have the Secretary of Commerce and Trade for the state of Virginia, Karen Merrick. We have Monique Adams from 757 Angels, Kirk Galliani with Crunch Fitness. We've got Morgan Davis, the former president of Town Bank. Lots of Drew Ungvarsky with Grow. Lots of really exciting big name judges who truly want to help see these students succeed. So they ask tough questions and they give some critical feedback, but the students love it, and they really are trying to help these student entrepreneurs grow their business.
Great. And Jada, you have done this before.
Yes.
So can you just tell me a little bit about your experience in the incubator class and then you going through pitch night?
Okay, so like Ms. Houchins was saying, we got into groups in the beginning of the year, and at first it was a little difficult because we all had like different ideas coming towards each other, and we didn't really know each other, so it was a step for getting to know each other first and then understanding what everybody had in mind. So then we decided to go with creating a beauty hair care product line, which basically our first product is the Perfect Parter, which helps assist braiders and people that do hair with parting, because that's very intricate in hairstyles. Like the hairstyle I have right now, it's really difficult to do parts and it takes a lot of time. It's very time consuming. And then so we were also thinking of how we can further develop our products, because at first our name was the Perfect Parter. Like we were just planning on doing just a comb. And then when we got with our mentor, he was like, well, how can you guys think bigger? So when you guys actually do get bigger, you guys can develop more products because you're not just a comb, you can do more. So then we came up with the new name Beauty Perfection because it was like all in one. And we also came up with the idea to sell another product with our comb, because as braiders are doing hair, they do like to use product on the braids like jam. So we decided to develop the jam perfecting stick to go along with our comb, and it's kind of like if you buy one, you get the other. So yeah. And then going on to pitch night, it was like very scary because we were like, oh my gosh, like we never had to do like big pitches in front of a lot of people, and then we heard the governor was going to be on it, so it was just very nerve-wracking, but we got through it because, you know, my team is great. And on pitch night, everybody was scared. Like, we were like, oh my gosh, we don't know what to expect. We don't know what questions they're going to ask. And we were all backstage praying, hoping everything goes good. And I feel relieved after pitch night because it's like, wow, I really got to do that. And a lot of people don't get this experience even like as they get older. So this academy provides us with a lot of opportunities that a lot of people don't get.
And then before this class happened, I mean, were you excited about business? Were you excited about this? Or did this class get you excited for that?
Well, I kind of really like business because I don't really like to, me personally, I like to do stuff on my own. So I don't really like to rely on other people to tell me what to do. So I feel like this class just like helped me understand more about business and what I wanted to do when I get older. So like it helped me, you know, really push away, because I kind of wanted to go in the medical field, and I was like, oh no, this is easy, so like I'm gonna stay here.
But it sounds like a lot of work, and it sounds like you created a product based on something you knew. So it wasn't a foreign thing, it wasn't something that didn't make sense to you. You guys developed something that you can actually use in your own life.
Yes.
That's very cool. So that's something that, you know, you can explain, you could sell to somebody because you yourself know how it works, how to use it.
Yes.
That's very cool. Well, I do want to bring in Berkeley and Ronnie too, if you don't mind, Miss Houchin. And I'm just going to make sure that everybody has your name up here, Ronnie. And then, you know, Berkeley and Roddy, do you guys want to just explain a little bit about where you guys are in the process this year, especially just being, you know, we're about a week away from your pitch night, but can you just talk a little bit about your path right now, like what has been going on?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Here, Roddy, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go. So I guess like I do want to start from the beginning. I feel like we were all kind of excited to work together. Like I know I was when I saw my group members, I was like, we got this, we're going to pitch night from the beginning. There was a few, I feel like finding our idea was pretty easy because the gym bag idea, it was Berkeley's idea, and I feel like it was something that we could actually make. But there's like a few difficulties trying to figure out, okay, so how can we get to this goal? Our problem that we want to solve was the issue with gym bag odor. We did find out that there's 100 million pieces of bacteria per square inch within a bag, which is more than a toilet seat. So we wanted to figure out why this is. We looked more towards the fabric. A lot of Nike bags, Adidas bags, they use synthetic fabrics. While that is good for durability, it doesn't really fight odors, and it's not as antibacterial as like cotton or bamboo or linen. So we look more to those natural fabrics. And it was a long process of prototyping, a lot of research done. We spoke with our mentor. He really helped us kind of find our identity. That was the main thing that was really much of a struggle, trying to figure out a name, even like a color palette for our team. But we were able to push through everything. There's a few issues with manufacturers getting our prototype, but we have received both of our prototypes this week. So I feel like now we're pretty much ready for pitch night. We just got to get up there and show the judges and the rest of the people there how much work we've done.
Well, you sold me right there just with how many germs there are. But so you guys are on the same team.
Yes.
And, you know, did it start with one idea in the beginning and you guys all jumped in, or was there a lot of compromise? Do you guys really have to, you know, figure out a way to develop something together? So there's a lot of teamwork involved, a lot of those skills. I mean, what was that like just starting off at the beginning of the class and trying to, you know, make a successful product?
Okay, so we had a few ideas floating around at the beginning, but pretty quickly we had some people tell us like what's actually realistic. And so once we narrowed it down to like the last two, it was a little bit of a challenge to pick, and we were really struggling. We had to get some outside help from adults in Miss Hutchins. And when we decided on the gym bag, we all were like 100% all in, and we knew that was the idea. And so we stuck with it, we ran with it, and I think we made an awesome product, and I'm really excited for Pitch Night.
And what is it like going to Pitch Night? Are you guys practicing speeches? Are you practicing your, I guess performance, but your on-stage presence? There's some B-roll that you gave me from last night's Pitch Night that's up, so viewers can see that. But you guys go up with the microphones. I mean, are you guys practicing that setup and everything?
So we just finished our slides today.
Okay.
And so from now until Pitch Night, we're just going to be practicing pitching to random teachers that we see, random people in the hallway. We're just going to practice, like eat, sleep, and breathe until Pitch Night.
And then do you guys have a prototype that you're going to bring in? Is that part of the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. And then can you tell me a little bit about making that prototype and that process? Because you said you had some vendors that you guys checked out to make it, but can you tell me a little bit about that?
So when we wanted to make our prototype, we realized that it would be very, very difficult to do it ourselves. Berkeley did try to make our original prototype, which we did like the shape of, but how many hours did you say it took?
It took me like 3 hours.
Yeah, it was 3 hours,
Okay.
and it was like this big of a bag. So we had to think about like where could we reach out. So we talked to some manufacturers. First, we did talk to some people here in the U.S., but for one, it was too expensive for the funding that we originally got, and two, it wouldn't get here in time. So those were the two issues that we kind of faced. So we had to look towards like international manufacturers. We looked at some companies in China. They were able to work with us. They were very communicative, but the problems were mostly with payment. There were some payment issues, but they did get the bag to how we liked it. And we did receive one, I'm assuming yesterday, which is exactly what we're looking for in our bag, just like a few things that we need to fix. But for a prototype, it's probably the best one that we could get.
So wow, so you guys really try to find real sources that if this becomes a business and you win the pitch money, you guys can actually develop this, right?
Yes.
And that's very exciting. And Jada, I mean, you had the your company, Beauty Perfection. It still exists.
Yes.
And you were even recognized for it by the governor.
Yes.
But I mean, you've been in their shoes, and you've been in this position, and you're on the other side of it now, and you've developed your prototype. You pitched, you did everything. I mean, how does it feel being 1 year out? Are you still excited about your business, and how is that?
Yes, I am still excited, but the only problem is like it's very conflicting when you have a lot of things outside of school to do. So it's like you have to kind of prioritize what you want to do with your business, and it's really depending on how well you and your group members work together, like if you guys are going to talk to each other about what's really going on. And I feel like communication is the best, because when you guys start falling out of communication, it's just like your business is going to go all over the place, and then sometimes people won't agree with you guys, but you guys have to sit down and like have a conversation about like what's really going on, or you'll have a problem. Because that happened to us a couple of times. Like, it's been a little wonky, but we ended up like getting together and talking it out so we can just...
And how many team members do you have?
I have 3 other team members, yes.
And then do you also have 2 team members on your team? I mean, even in this room, you guys seem to be communicating well about who's answering what question and, what part of, the process that you both want to speak about. Is that something that's important to figure out, who speaks about what element of the process?
Yeah, I would say we had to figure that out. At the beginning, we all wanted to talk about everything, but we figured out that's not possible. So sometimes if someone's really passionate about like a slide they put a lot of work into, we're like, okay, for that pitch, like you nailed that, you got that. But Rodney, we pretty much like decided he's the elevator pitch guy. He's so convincing, he sells it so well. And so the rest of us, we just kind of like work on the other stuff and pick up what we do. I normally do like the financial aspect part of it. So that's my role, and the other 2 members have their.
So when you get the questions about, how the sales are going to look and things like that's going to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then did you guys see Jada last year? Did you see Pitch Night? Did you know what that was?
Yeah,
Yes.
I went and saw last year.
And what was your thoughts on watching everyone present? I mean, obviously, it encouraged you all to be a part of the class this year, so it didn't scare you away. But what was that like? Watching her, and are there any things that you're going to take from last year, or do you feel better prepared that you've seen that pitch night happen?
So as a freshman, I was struggling to like pick between two of the strands, and I went to pitch night and I saw everyone pitch, and I was so excited. I was like, I want to do this. And so like I told my teacher, I was like, I'm sold, I'm locked in, E&I, that's the one for me. And now I'm really excited that we like got on stage.
And Jada, what do you say to them? They're about to do it. I mean, do you have any advice? Have you offered any words of wisdom to them?
I just say keep practicing your presentation, and then when you get up there, just do it. Like,
yeah.
Just do it.
And then the last thing I wanted to ask too is, these businesses, if they work or if they don't, I mean, you guys can still carry them on. You can still figure out ways to develop them. So for you, Jada, I mean, like, is this something that you want to continue with in high school and after, or is this something that's, influencing you?
Yeah. Even after, like, if my group separates, like, I want to continue doing this because I do hair myself, and, like, I just feel hair is, like, one of my passions. So I like to do everything that involves, like, the beauty hair care stuff. So, like, if we do end up, like, discontinuing Beauty Perfection, I do want to develop more products based off of this idea.
And you have the skills to do that if you want to. And then Berkeley and Ronnie, how do you guys feel? I mean, is this something, and you'll see how pitch night goes, and I'm wishing you guys good luck, next week. But how do you feel about doing this, being an entrepreneur, being in business?
I think this is something that we can expand even past high school, because what we've made is something that I know I personally use a lot, doing a bunch of different sports, and I know there's a lot of people who want to work out and want to improve themselves, so trying to help them out is really the number one goal, just trying to be a helpful member to everyone, give them something that they can use for however long they need to. I think we are going to be that team that can help them out, and they're going to look to us first, and that's what we kind of want to establish.
And Berkeley, how do you feel about it?
I think this is definitely something we could continue after high school. Hopefully if we get funded, then we will put out our product next year, and if it goes well, then we can continue it senior year. And then if business is booming, then maybe we'll continue it in college. But I hope that this goes somewhere. I definitely do.
And then you guys know, it's very unique, obviously, to Kempsville High School to have a program like this, to have this sort of platform to, try your entrepreneurial skills, next week. I mean, are you happy that you landed in this place to be able to do that? I mean, it's a pretty cool opportunity. Yeah. Well, Ashley, is there anything else that...
Pitch night is open to the public, so we do, people can reserve seats, and
there's, I think the flyer will go around, and I'll make sure that's included. Okay. So pitch night is on May 10th. It's at 5 p.m. So you heard it here that, people can go and watch, all of these, incredible students give their pitches, answer a lot of questions, and I imagine you all will be preparing for the next few days. So hopefully everyone is giving you space to do that. Your teachers included. I'm sure they're all rooting for you too. And then I'm assuming, does the school go, or are people allowed to, or is that a part of their day? Yeah. But is there anything else you guys want to share about your business, Jada, or anything else that you guys want to touch on? It's okay if you don't. I think I also want to add, this is a part of your curriculum. So you guys are also being full-time high school students, and you're doing this. And then whatever else you have going on. So, I mean, it's really impressive just in terms of your time management skills, communication skills, learning how to pitch, learning how to research and do all of the background work. So I hope no matter what happens, you guys are very proud of yourselves, because there's a lot of steps, that go into this. And I think everyone will realize that that's watching this conversation now. And then Jada, I think, you serve such a good example a year out. You're still very involved. You still want this to succeed. And it's obviously hopefully influence, what you want to do, maybe even going into college. So I feel like that's very exciting. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are watching this later, head to wavy.com and you can see more information about the academy. So thank you so much.